We, first person plural pronoun, includes you and I and another or others. Are, second person singular present and first or second or third person plural of be. Back, expressing a return to an earlier or normal condition. All that to say, we are back. Fellow chaoticians, let me hear it. Woo!
That was the most annoying writer at a cocktail party.
I like the refresher course.
Webster's defines pretentious as...
Welcome to Season 2, Episode 1 of Crafting Chaos. 50% more pretentious, guaranteed, or your money back. I am your host for this week. Author, voice actor, halfway decent Vanilla Ice impersonator, Ryan Dalton. Next up, we have podcaster, writer, producer, voted most likely to grow a beard by his third grade class, Pete Wright. Say hi, Pete.
Truth. Hi. It was third grade.
And the prophecy was fulfilled.
Moving on, you know him. You've seen his plays, and he's standing behind you right now. Kyle Olson.
No, you gonna finish that? All right.
And finally, wait, what? We have a new co-host, and I don't know her well enough to make jokes about her yet.
Oh, dig in.
That'll happen.
The show must go on. Mandy, introduce yourself, please.
I'm Mandy Fabian, and I've basically been stalking these boys to let me come play and talk about all the crafted chaos. I'm happy to be here. I am a filmmaker, writer, director, and podcaster as well. Is there more? Do you want more? I'm mother.
We're going to keep talking. We'll keep talking. Okay. We'll drip the rest out throughout the course of the show.
I'm so sorry. Okay.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Yes. For those of you who are joining us in Season 2, Misty has decided to step down from her role here, too. She is basically having a lot of life happening at her very, very quickly.
Yes.
So she let us know that basically she just does not have the time for the craft or the chaos. All she has time to do is just survive.
Still a friend of the show.
Yeah, exactly.
I've been there, Misty. I've been there.
So if you're listening to hear her voice, go help yourself. It's still running. It's still out there. Our podcast is still up and going. We wish her nothing but the best. But we are happy that we can continue on and that we have gotten another amazing creator to come and join us in this weird thing that we're doing.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Hallelujah.
So it's been a bit since we recorded. Time enough for, I think, all of us to get into some manner of creative hijinks. So I wanted to kick off Season 2 by hearing what you have all been working on. Kyle, would you like to begin?
Sure. I got asked to be in something called Muse Fest, which is done by Space 55 here in Phoenix. It was a brand new thing that they put together that the idea was they were going to celebrate the 9 muses of creativity. So they found 9 female performers, and they were given 15 minutes of stage time to do whatever they wanted. And then we, 9 men, were then assigned a muse, and then we were to watch whatever this thing that they did was, and had a week to come up with our own 15-minute response to whatever that was. And we could do whatever we could do whatever we want. We could do stand up. We could do improv. We could really pretty much they said you have 15 minutes. You just have to fill it. That's all. So it was an interesting creative challenge to sort of go in and then see everyone else's stuff too. And it was all in this very collaborative, hey, we don't know what's going to happen spirit. So I was basically a person had done it as if they were the muse of creativity and had done this big sort of rallying speech of we can all do this. And then I decided to make a short film to do that in response, whatever, too. So I made a homage to the mixtape. And I basically sort of made a mixtape in this video showing kind of with the same themes and ideas and things on it, too. So it was really fun and really inspiring. It was nice to just say, somebody said, hey, do whatever you want for X amount of time. You only have this week to do it, but then it's going up. It's going up on Friday, no matter what. So,
nice.
Yeah, it was super fun.
So cool.
Yeah.
Don't think they have to do it again.
What if you wanted to be a muse, though? Could you just decide, look at my face, look at my beard, muse this?
Have men not taken enough Now we have to be muses too.
You know what?
I'm my own muse.
I am your extreme gendered creative.
We could do that here. Like I, as the female, could just do
Yeah.
the rest of the podcast myself, and then you guys can do the next podcast.
Yeah.
You know,
As a
based
response
on
to
what-
you, it's
Just
like a
based
call
on
and
that.
response. Isn't that just Joe Rogan?
Oh, no.
Let
That's
know how
awesome,
it goes,
dude.
I guess. You know,
Yeah.
just text when you're done.
That's really cool.
Yeah, we'll go to lunch and then we'll come back and review later. That's super unique. Very cool. Thank you.
Yeah,
for
it was
sharing.
really fun.
Mandy. So let's hear if there's anything you'd like to share. Anything you've been working on recently. Is this your first time on the show? Help us start getting to know what you do and all of that.
Well, let's see. What have I been up to lately? I directed an independent pilot, which was this crazy thing that we did, micro budget over the course of 3 days, but I'm really proud of it. And it's called You Are Here. And today I went through the cut that's almost final, and I looked for pieces to put into the trailer because we've started submitting the indie pilot to like Series Fest, which is a festival that's dedicated totally to indie television pilots, and Tribeca and Frameline, I think, and I forget the other one, maybe South by, but we're submitting it to festivals. So that's cool. And I've just been I have a lot of little balls in the air. I have another super micro budget independent feature that I'm going to be shooting with some friends from college in June. And then I was putting together an outline for a television pitch that I somehow managed to land here in the UK that I'm super excited about that as well.
I feel like one of the things we're going to need to dive deeper on with you is just the act of creativity at such extremes, because you're like LA based and now you live in London. That has to be just crazy for keeping the momentum of your creative process and team and all of that.
Yeah.
So I'm fascinated by that journey.
I'm happy to share. It is intense. I mean, talk about the not knowing what's coming next.
Yeah. I mean, you have to fire all of your LA friends and just make all new ones. I think that's the strategy I've heard.
Yeah. Well, the friends weren't as hard as the staff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Letting all of them go is heartbreaking,
yes. Truly.
Yeah.
Pete, what have you been up to?
You guys, this is a time of year. Well, first of all, a perennial shout out to Story Sprawl, which is something that nobody can access without an invitation, but it's my favorite thing. And I have to tell you, good God, you guys, the best writing of my life. And nobody can read it except for 3 people. And that's okay.
Hey.
It's okay. That's what I needed. I needed to unlock this small thing. And I feel great about it. It is really fun. And we've started printing books of it. And so we're starting to get these Story Sprawl books that are fantastic. They end up they're kind of packaged like Choose Your Own Adventure, but really they're just sprawling narratives that take you in entire new directions based on characters that you learn about early on. And we're having an absolute blast with it. So that's number one. That's my creative thing right now. The other is it's the time of year where I am not allowed to be that creative because it's data time. And so as part of the network, we're going through this process of looking at every show that we produce. And one thing that's changed this year over years past is access to AI and these large language models, which, you know what, as much as we hate having them create stuff for us as creators, you know what they're really actually pretty good at?
Crunching numbers.
Crunching numbers. And I have been able to create reports based on mountains of data that I've never been able to do before. And it has been completely illuminating. We've worked really hard on getting this prompt just right. And because it knows, in some cases, I upload transcripts of episodes, all the titles, all the guests. And so it can tell us, like, here's what people are doing with what you create. And I cannot stress this enough. It is like swallowing broken glass on fire to like do it.
Mm-hmm.
And the act of actually making your brain read it is really hard because mostly I don't want to know.
Mm-hmm.
But it's really good. And it's good for me. It's good for me to be able to make decisions about the margin of my time and my brain and what I have left for to be able to create new things and make hard decisions. And it has been illuminating. It's not always a breath of fresh air, but I am learning so much about the things that we create and put out in the world. And it has been really transformative and hard. And it's not, I guess it doesn't fall into the normal sort of a catalog of stuff that we talk about, but I kind of want to talk about it because it's not something we always talk about. And as creators, we sort of need to know what are people doing with the stuff that we do, that we make. So
yeah, absolutely.
That's what I'm up to.
Wow.
Oh,
That's
very
amazing.
nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
It finally, yeah.
Anything we can do to like take some of the load off of that stuff that we have to like all the crunching that is required for like making the living doing art. Boy, as much as you can offload that to something else, that's awesome.
Yeah. Oh, it's huge. And it finally makes me feel like not terrible about saying I used AI to help me do this thing. And it's amazing. Like I've learned so much.
Yeah, and it's not like people are going to be like, well, that's a mathematician you could have hired to do that work for you. like, no, it's just something I would have slogged through for weeks at a time.
Yeah, the answer was not like, could I have hired a mathematician? It's like, would I have done this or not done this? Like, would we have learned this new thing or not learned this new thing and just gone on guessing? And that's where I really have to kind of balance my kind of ideology around it.
Yeah, that's the way I spend my. Anytime I have to use AI, it's that. It's sort of like, do I want to spend half an hour learning Excel formulas, or do I want to just ask it to do what it's really good at doing, which is sorting numbers into nice little columns? And
you guys, one nerdericious thing, we migrated many of our shows from one host to another in about August of last year. And that means I have two sets of data that are fuzzy and kind of crawling over each other for about 60 days as the migration happens.
It's a great premise for a horror film, but go on.
100%. That's already in my Blue Sky Ideation notebook. But I was able to tell it, here's what I have going on. I need you to take this set from this and then make this set and this, and I need you to normalize that data so it looks like just one complete assessment of our performance over the year. And it absolutely did without any trouble. And as we go back and table to table, do spot checks and do the arithmetic ourselves, it worked. It worked. It did exactly what we needed to do. So, so I don't know. Am I okay with how my percentage of the ocean that I burned to do these reports? I don't feel great about it, but man, these reports are good, y'all.
That movie's called Dirty Data, by the way.
Dirty Data.
Nice. Oh, I love that movie. Patrick Swayze, right?
Oh, so good.
So good.
Nobody puts the actuary in the corner.
Nailed it.
Okay, I think that leaves me. I've actually had a busy time here. So the outline for book 3 of the Black Cape Saga is almost done. That will be titled Amateur Villainy. And that should be coming in the spring. So super stoked about that. I also accidentally cracked a key part of a story that's in the back of my head for a few years. I had just an idea for a murder mystery story that had a very particular setting and everything. I'm not giving too many details away because I'm going to write this fairly soon because it's kind of burning in the back of my head and it's something I think I could knock out fairly quickly. But I always had a general concept, but was always working on other things, and so didn't look too hard at it. But then I was listening to a particular song, and as happens sometimes, the entire solution to the whole through line and hook of the story came to me in about 3 seconds. And I was like, okay, I'm writing this down at least. And then as I started writing it down, I was like, boy, I think I could write this book. Actually, I think this feels like one that might just flow out of me if I write it. So that was exciting and unexpected. So you may get some updates about that sometime this year. Also,
I love that feeling that, like, your brain's been working on it this whole time, and now it's just
and it's not like when I
Love it.
dream that I'm doing stand up and I'm really funny, and then I wake up and I've been saying celery stick repeatedly for. It's not like that. It's real. Okay,
let's hope. So I wrote down enough of the concept and everything, and worked through like a lot of the solution and some twists and turns in it. And then there's a writer friend of mine here in Phoenix that we meet once a month and catch up and do some writing, but also bounce things back and forth. I told her everything that I'd figured out, the whole story, kind of like within 10 minutes, everything. And I told her, look, just like, tell me if it's good or not good, punch holes in it or whatever. And at the end of it, she said, when are you going to write that? And furthermore, that should be a movie as well.
Love
so I was like, okay, so one person thinks it's cool.
Yeah.
So
great.
yeah, that was encouraging.
How many can I just, as a sidebar,
Yes.
if I may approach the bench?
I'll allow
how
it,
often,
but watch yourself, Counselor.
how often has that struck by lightning experience happened for you in your previous books?
It happens at some point in pretty much every book. But it's usually
But it's in the book, not like before you've started. Come on, tell me something's hard. Ryan, are we going to start this again? Jesus, man. Read the room.
We're going
okay, so that's
talk about this in segment 2, Pete.
Okay, all right.
So, well, I will tell you, Pete, I do have stories in the drawer, my secret shame, that I have not yet cracked or figured out how to. There is a middle grade modern retelling of Count of Monte Cristo that I so badly want to write, and I can't quite crack it, Pete.
Okay.
Not all stories I do are magic and rainbows all the time.
Oh, God, thank God.
I've been in the process of moving all my notes from Zoho Notebook over to Obsidian. Yay!
Welcome.
But in the process, I have to go through everything and move it over and then go through. And I have found it some of those things where I was like, oh, yeah, that was an interesting thought. And then I even had one that had the title of what it was. And then the text of it read, "This is where the good ideas go."
Nice.
And that was from 8 or 9 years ago. So I'm still waiting. I have a title.
Hang a hat here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think you can do creative stuff as much as we do and not have some stuff in the shadows that's like, we're still here. So yeah, even I have that beat. So in a completely different avenue of creativity, I auditioned for a voiceover thing and I got it.
Hey,
what?
So,
Thanks
it's just
to this show. You're welcome. And please.
Yeah, this really upped my profile for some reason with the 8 people that listened. So it's great.
Hey.
So
the best 8 people.
So yeah,
I think number 8 is a host now. So you guys
no.
rethink your numbers.
You're not part of the metrics anymore.
Down to 7.
Crap.
So yeah, it's a real-time strategy game actually, and it's not like huge roles or anything. It's just something that I thought would be fun, and they liked what I was doing. So
wait, so are you going to be like a troll and a gnome and a paladin?
You're just going to be numbers 7.
Right, yeah.
We're still talking about the game, right?
Yeah.
The game,
right?
Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm just becoming a troll, Pete. Yeah, no. So it's
describing your role on this show, I guess.
Hey,
yeah, I'm going to be called No Butt the Troll. Thanks very much. So it's a sci-fi real-time strategy game, akin a little bit to, I would, at least in form, I would compare it to sort of like a StarCraft 2 type game. And for any giant nerds like me who've played those games, when you click on like units to tell them to do things, they say things to you. So, and it's, short phrases, it's in character, it's kind of based on, and so that, they have to have voice actors to say those lines. They call them barks. So things they say back to you when you click and give them orders and things. And so, yeah, they had like I think 8 or 10 different types of characters that they were wanting to fill voices. And I sent in samples of like 6 of them, and it was they were all kind of wildly different. And so I'm not sure actually which ones they're going to want me to do, but yeah, I actually got the contract earlier today, and we're going to do like the live session coming up within a few weeks. And yeah, then I'll just go through it live with their producer.
Outstanding.
You have to stay lookout like 80
Amazing.
different ways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or just,
Yeah, a bunch of grunts in character. Yeah,
Yeah, right.
Not again, mother.
Oh no, that'd be a different kind of game.
I think I've seen that game.
We don't talk about those kinds of games. And lastly, there's a thing, and this is gonna be one of those vague booking things, but I wanted to share at least a little bit of it because I can't say specifically what it is because I don't know if it's going forward yet. I'm still waiting on word. However, I did get a chance to pitch a novel for an existing IP. I spent a good chunk of last year developing it, actually. And I'd finally, in the fall, got it where I was super happy with it, sent it on to my agent, and we got it sent in to the people that we're pitching it to. So
Y.A. Hannibal Lecter. Can't wait.
Yeah.
What's for lunch?
Yeah. Hannibal, the middle school years. Yeah. He works in a middle school cafeteria. Yeah, it gets real dark.
Oh my God. Actually, Silence of the Lambda Chi.
Oh,
my
nice.
God. What? How come
like
we haven't
it.
done that before? Jesus.
Oh my God.
Well, now we have to make that. Anyway, so yeah, a few writing things, a voiceover thing. It's been a busy few months.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, I like all yours better than mine.
Yeah, but yours is one of those nuts and bolts things that
Yeah.
people don't like to talk about, but we all need. So
We all need.
And when you were talking about it, I was thinking, that's such a huge part of the creative process, which is doing something that feels like, what did you say? Shards of glass, eating shards of heated glass
Shards of glass.
while you're on fire or something like that. But I find that those are the things that you have to do. Like that's part of everything. I didn't get to make a film and not have to sit there while we figured out how to do the Instagram blah blah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You just choke on it.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
That's what she said. But sorry, that's probably not. We're not doing those jokes. Yeah, moving on.
I didn't hear profanity.
we are now. Oh,
yeah. But
All right.
I applaud you because
Thank
doing
you.
that really hard, tedious stuff is part of a lot of creativity. And
Absolutely,
none of
yeah.
us want to do it. It's not glamorous. It's not sexy to post that what you did that day. But it's important and it's a muscle that needs to be worked out. So congratulations.
Thank
Yes,
you,
absolutely.
Mandy. This is why you're here.
Moral support. Yeah, nice. All right. Well, thanks for the updates, everyone. Before we go to our main topic, let's get to a sponsor.
Whatever you do, don't fall asleep. It's me, the creepy little British girl from all those scary movies. You might remember me saying things like, "Do you want to play a game?" Death is very simple, but relationships are complicated, and the only thing more dramatic than a funeral is a wedding, which is why everyone needs to watch Jess Plus None. The film is about a beautiful mess of a woman named Jess who travels to her friend's destination wedding to confess her feelings. And as you'd expect, things do not go smoothly. Unfortunately, no one dies. Instead, things get very funny and very real. Laugh while you are still alive by watching Jess Plus None on one of your streaming services. I'll know if you don't. You have been warned.
Wow.
That's the best commercial ever.
Okay.
Oh my God. I love it.
I must have on a t-shirt. Unfortunately, no one dies.
Yes.
That
was good. That was
Awesome.
right.
Okay.
Yeah.
More merch ideas. I
Merch,
love it.
Right?
Oh,
that's
man.
Wow, and endorsed by the
Endorsed.
creepy little British girl is
Yeah.
actually a pretty
She
high
sounds
mark.
a lot like my neighbor. Yeah.
It's
I was going to ask Mandy if you had met her. Yeah, but
Yeah, I think, yep. I think our kids go to school together. Yeah.
Well, and also that movie sounds like a lot of fun. So
The movie is outstanding.
Mandy Fabian, can you tell us a little bit about what Jess Plus None is?
Yes, I can, Kyle. Thank you. Jess Plus None is my debut feature. It's a rom-com. And oh God, I haven't pitched the movie in a long time. It's like they describe it as an LGBTQ bridesmaids meets The Big Chill. That's what you say. But it's really a movie for everybody. It's an awkward comedy. Jess is a really reluctant bridesmaid who has to go to her best friend's wedding and be the maid of honor. And she has to face all of her more successful college friends and her amazingly stunning, perfect ex-girlfriend, and hijinks ensue.
It's great. It's great. Fully endorsed. It is a blast. We've watched it a number of times in the family. It is so great. Like, we bring people over, and it's a movie that is in that rotation. You know, it's like, you want to sit down and watch a movie? Yeah, let's watch Jess Plus None, kind of a thing. It's so funny. Yeah,
God,
I know. Legit.
You. I
it's
love
like
being
real.
in a rotation.
You're in a rotation. Yeah. It's really, really good.
Total dream come true, and I'm really proud of it. So thank you.
And there's a thing at the end where she throws an item, and she throws it so far you'll think it's CG, but apparently she just legit has an arm on her.
Yeah, she legit does.
That's crazy. I thought it was going into orbit. Anyway.
That makes me think of, I don't know if this is apocryphal or not, but I had heard there was a Jet Li movie where they had to actually slow him down a little bit because people thought it was like fake CG, how fast he could move. But that was not CG at all. He's literally just that fast. Anyway, I don't know if that's true. I had heard that, though.
The thing about being apocryphal is that it's just so easy to swallow.
I know, yeah.
Like,
it's just
so
too
good.
cool a story.
I want it to be real enough. Yeah.
And all the vibrators in the movie are real as well.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Going for realism.
There's one controversy we can put to bed.
Yeah. Sure.
That's not even a joke. People are going to be like, vibrators. That's hilarious. And they're oh no, she wasn't kidding. There's really vibrators.
No.
Okay.
Yeah. It's self-pleasure forward, this movie. It's, for sure.
As Fight Club is to
nice
soap,
way to put it.
Jess Plus None is to vibrators. So
That's right.
All right, let's go on to our main topic of this week. We're calling it "You Don't Have to Have All the Answers Right Now." I wanted to talk about this because I listened to an interview with one of my favorite TV writers, Ronald Moore, mostly known for Battlestar Galactica, but he cut his teeth writing for Star Trek: The Next Generation, one of my all-time favorite shows. And in the interview, he told a great story about, writing those Star Trek scripts. They had to go at a breakneck pace because they were shooting like 24 episodes a year. So you often couldn't be precious about the process, and you had to keep the pace, whether you felt like you knew what you were doing with the story or not. And he talked about how they would sometimes piece together the scripts. So like there would be scenes where they knew the rhythm that they needed. They knew what narratively needed to happen, but they didn't always have the other stuff figured out, the details to get those things to happen, which typically in Star Trek means technical stuff. So we need a Star Trek techie reason for this thing to happen, but we got to get the script done, so we can't slow down yet to work out the technobabble. So he gave kind of a half serious but also half true sample of how a scene would be written in early drafts. So he painted the picture of, okay, on the bridge, there's a crisis going on. Picard, Mr. Data, can you tech the tech? And in the so in the first draft of the dialogue, instead of the real thing, he would just put tech in big letters and figure it out later. So then you just have the dialogue in this, like in the rhythm you need. So, Mr. Data, can you tech the tech on the warp drive? And Data would say, Captain, there's a theory that if we teched the outer part of the tech, it might actually work. And Geordi says, but Data, if you tech the tech too high, the tech will explode. Riker, we shouldn't try to tech it, Captain. Picard, well, I think we're going to try. Mr. Data, tech the tech. And so they've got the rhythm, but they don't have like the thing yet that makes it happen. And to me, hearing that from a very accomplished, great professional lifts some weight and relieves maybe some self-imposed tension. Ron Moore and the other Star Trek writers, they made it okay not to know it all right away, not to have all the answers in the first draft. They've trusted in their process and in their creativity, and they had confidence that they could go back and tweak and fill in the answers, but that they were getting the overall form down to give them the ability to go back and do that. So they didn't let themselves get bogged down by not knowing right this second how to do something narratively. And for me, that's a very clear transition into writing novels. I've sort of had this thought in the past, but never as clearly as when he put it this way, is to remind myself, look, you don't have to have this exact thing right now. You can just put a note, go about your business, and then come back and fill that in. And you know you'll be able to when you have a little more time and your brain has a little more space. But for me, it was about, I like the not always putting pressure on yourself to figure it all right away, to figure it all out. And that can sometimes translate into having more creative freedom, because you can go hard at the stuff that you can really get down right now. And, you can go back and put in some of the more grindy work later. But I liked that as a way to relieve a little bit of self-imposed tension in the creative process for myself. So I was also curious if you guys experience anything like that, or what your thoughts on that idea are. Pete, you want to chime in first?
I love that you just gave me the template for every Star Wars episode I've ever seen. Like, teching the tech is the Mad Lib.
Star Trek is what you mean? Star Wars.
Well, I'm just saying, like, I don't know what I said, but I just think teching the tech is amazing, and we need a Mad Lib about where we can just tech everything. So note to self. I think there's a freedom to how you are describing it. And as you were talking, I'm thinking about my sort of the corollary to that, which is I feel really great about starting a project because I think I know exactly where it's going to go. And then 3 chapters in, it becomes true that I don't, and I panic and I vapor lock on any ability to move forward. And part of that, I think, is because I'm not great at giving myself permission not to know what happens next, not to have answers that will need to be resolved by the time I get to the next chapter, the next act, the next half, whatever. And so I'll blue screen, and then that leads to the drawer of shame. It's like, okay, this isn't going to get written. I'm putting it away. So I don't know that necessarily answers your question, but it is what I'm sort of feeling, and it makes me think I should revisit the drawer of shame with some new permission, and maybe start again and just see if not knowing is what is illuminating. And we've also said I'm much more of a pantser than a planner, right? So this is kind of this is how I work. I never know. I will say one other caveat. I mentioned Story Sprawl earlier, and one of the great gifts of Story Sprawl, and I think this goes into helping me let go of those answers, is that you're never the person who writes what comes next. The idea of Story Sprawl is you write something and you plant a bunch of seeds that you think you know where you would want it to go, but somebody else takes it and does something new with it, and you just get to ride. And not having to answer all those questions yourself is often that's like a heavy lift for me, is to let go of having to do everything before I hit the next chapter. That I think goes into developing this muscle. I'll shut up.
Yes, I'd like to go next just because I want to give you a tool to put in your toolbox. That if you get to that point, here's the phrase to think about, and it's, "Woo, that was a close one." Jump the chapter. Just jump the chapter and start the next one with, "Whoo, that was a close one," and then just move on.
Oh, that's good.
And then later on, you can go, "Oh, wait, now they need, a sacred dagger. Oh, they probably got it in that thing and you could just go right back in and do it." I mean, it's Perils of Pauline. It gets right back to the thing.
It makes me
jump over and just keep moving.
It makes me think of "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?" Right? That's the damn. We in a tight spot. Right.
Also, your Tech the Tech. Back in the early days of Grey's Anatomy, when Shonda Rhimes was just a writer and not the Shonda Rhimes, she actually did a podcast when the episodes were coming out and would talk about the writing of the episodes too. And she said they did the same thing because they when they're in the writer's room, they're like, well, we know the relationships. We know what's going to happen. We know that who's dating who, what's going on. She's like, we don't know anything about the stuff. So they would use medical. They're like, we have a patient with medical. Like, well, we need to make sure we have the medical. And they just like, we'll figure that out later. Like it'll, whatever it is, it'll come through. And they just got on with the heart of the story. And then they went back in and put like the medical or the science or the sci-fi into it later. But it's like they already had the emotional story. So it's, same thing. So if you're like, ugh, Star Trek, hey, Grey's Anatomy is doing pretty good. Like, I don't know when you're listening to this, but it's probably still on.
It's still on. Yeah.
And new episodes are being made.
Awesome.
There was a quote from Madeline L'Engle too that I found when we were talking about this, which was inspiration more often comes during the work than before it, because the largest part of the job of an artist is to listen to the work.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I've talked about that in classes that I've taught, especially for like younger people who are thinking about writing, and they always want to know about inspiration and where you get ideas. And I always tell them, look, inspiration usually hits after you've already sat down and started doing the work. The inspiration is the reward for putting the work in. It is not what you wait for before you start working. And it's, that seems to be true across a lot of creative disciplines.
I love a clear directive. Like, I love the idea of adapting something or helping someone with their ideas. But this what you're talking about, this not knowing what comes next, I feel like is the way that I've always worked. I mean, so many stories early on, because I couldn't decide what to work on. I just couldn't figure out which thing was pulling me in. So I would just sit down and start writing, and just like, I would go with one picture and just figure it out. And that was great. Like, I have a couple short films that when I sat down to write the beginning, I just had an idea of the characters and a sort of premise, but I didn't know how it ended. And that was true for a novella I wrote. I had this whole journey in mind, but I had no idea where this character would end up. And, that now I think that might bother me. I think now I might be like, oh my God, what if I don't get that answer? But I think I did so much improv in college. And I think that I did so much of it. And then I did it after college. And it's just the act of improv, of getting up on stage and going, I'm reaching for the shelf. What's there? Oh, or just being terrified, like, oh my God, we have no idea how to end the scene. There it is. You just like find it through this organic process. So for me, when I write, I kind of am dreamscaping all the time. Like, I get an idea, and then that idea goes down, and then I have another idea, and I'm not sure how it's related to the other idea, or I should say where it would go in the structure of whatever that story is, but I get it down, and I come up with I overwrite a bunch of garbage. And then I sort of get a sense of what I think is more shiny than garbage, and then what really isn't garbage and what should actually be brought back into the house. But really, I kind of just start spitting out the pictures and not really even sure of anything. It just is, it's all pretty like general at the beginning and random, and it seems random and it's frustrating. But then the more that I go through it, this probably sounds chaotic and terrible to you guys, but this is how I do it. The more I like show up and sense what feels good and what I want to build on, and where these little things that have been dropped in can connect, that's when I start to see a shape of what the story is. Like, it starts to just come with like different scenes and different ideas. And then I get a sense of where they belong in the arc of the story. And then I start to put it all together. So it really is like not coming from my brain. It's kind of dropping in, and then it's my job to put it in place on the page. There's one movie that I had to pick a photo and an image of a woman who was standing by a grave, and I knew she was a widow, dressed all in black, and she takes off her hat and throws it into the grave. And that was this image that I had. And from that, I sat down, and I swear, I think in 3 weeks, I wrote an entire feature film and got an ending that I was surprised by and super happy with. But that's happened to me like one time. Because also, when you write like that with no structure, rewriting is a bear. There's just really hard to get back in there and, know where you are in the movie. So,
my first sort of collaborative creative thing, like as yours was improv, was Dungeons and Dragons, like was playing role-playing games. And so that's kind of how I end up approaching a lot of these scenes, whereas I sort of know that as a storyteller or game master, dungeon master, whatever you want to call it, you only have a limited amount of control over where the story is going to go. You could have the most amazing narratives in the world and stuff too, and your players decide they all want to go and kill the bartender and take over the bar and just live there now. And now you have to completely redo your entire story. So I always come into whenever I'm ready with a little bit of chaos. That like I have an idea of what I want to do, but they're going to do what they want to do. And so I tend to sort of, like in the same way you're talking, sit back and go, all right, I've now set up the scenario, I let them loose, and then I basically kind of let them improv through the whole thing and then go, oh, actually, I see where you're going. And then just try and stay a little bit ahead, which is what the best dungeon masters do. And that's how I approach pretty much everything. Is like I know the characters really well, and I just drop them in the fishbowl, and then we can see what happens. There's lots of different ways. Like so yeah. Don't ever think you need to have every single beat planned out. Like let the little chaos into your system if it's not working.
And like the medical,
right?
Sometimes you just have to write a really bad story point,
yes,
like a really weak conflict, or you just have to do something that's just like kind of super mediocre just to get to the next place and figure out that would sort of bridge that, but something better when I come back to that. It just sort of helps you beef it up.
I would like to say as a endorsement to what Kyle said, I actually been playing D&D with a bunch of other people for the last 6-7 years, the same campaign. And one of the things that has emerged is that we all love operating businesses. And so we took over a tavern and a hotel and a ship, and we actually have hired staff. So when we're not there, when we're adventuring, the DM is actually soloing their experiences at our hotel and our castle. It's like an Airbnb kind of environment.
Oh my God,
so people
that's
come
great.
and stay.
D&D and B&B.
D&D B&B. Yeah. It is extraordinarily satisfying. I will say the other thing that is coming out of this for me is that as I started with this thing, let's say like the panic that hits when I hit chapter 3 or 4 and don't know where I'm going. But I realized as you're talking about it, the best stuff that I've done is the stuff where I have finished things. Like I've finished stories and books and things that I'm happy with. And it usually comes as a result of figuring out just one subtle thing that I can unlock the next idea and taking just a dose of hope in some element. And that there is a sort of tyranny to having a plan in my creative work that I respond emotionally to. That I get kind of mad when I have too much of a plan. So when it breaks, I'm kind of like, F you plan, and put it in the drawer. So it also sheds light on the lie that like all artists know exactly what they're doing all the time. Let's always remember that is a lie.
This is the power of editing. You can go back and make yourself look like a genius, but in the process, you can be stumbling around.
You've got me thinking, Pete, that D&D needs to introduce a new adventurer class, the entrepreneur.
Yes.
What are you into? Mostly deals. I make deals.
Deals. I roll an 18 charisma. It's all I got.
Like his magical power comes from like making a healthy profit.
The profiteer. Oh, we have
profiteer. Nice.
That sounds real.
I know. It's almost too real, and I'm feeling a little like a sweat coming on.
Yeah. Don't let too much of the real world come. Then there will be like dungeon MBAs and stuff that want to.
Right.
So
the scourge of the tech bros.
Exactly.
Yeah, you have agents that are taking 10% of your experience every time you say something.
It'll be like a subscription program to spells that you can have like, oh, you've used your spell limit for the month. You're gonna have to upgrade tiers if you want another spell.
This is horrible. We have to stop talking about it.
Yeah, someone's gonna do this.
We're making life worse for a whole level of future people.
Yeah. Although there'd be a great villain for a party to kill, like someone who wants to commoditize. And I'm going down a rabbit hole. Never mind.
Yeah.
Okay, so moving on to our next segment, we have a listener question. And we actually also had a couple left over from last season we didn't get to. Wanted to make sure that we do get to them. So this week we're going to tackle one.
Pete,
here's a
if
question.
people want to ask questions, where is it that they can
Yes,
go?
Pete, where do they email questions?
Oh, no. It's been a long time since season 1.
Okay.
Craftandchaos.fun. If you visit craftandchaos.fun or just scroll down in your show notes, that's right. We have show notes.
There you go.
And you'll find a link that says ask us a question. It gets fed right into our rundown so that we know when you ask a question and we will answer it on an upcoming show.
And Pete was nominated for Best Show Notes for 2025. So
it was not, but
this is someone you can trust. Best podcast show notes.
Nice.
Best podcast show notes. Right.
So our question, loved hearing about everyone's different approaches to busy periods. Could you do a follow-up about what happens when you have too much creative time? I was laid off and have the luxury to have a partner who can support the two of us, and I'm suffocating under the weight of creative time right now.
Oh, yes.
I have my own response. I will save it until last. Mandy, do you have any thoughts on that? I know you just heard this, so it's right off the go.
I do. I after my movie got released, it was such a huge creative thing off my plate. And then I flatlined and I had plenty of time. Well, I'd say I had plenty of time. I was moving to a different country, which takes there's a couple of things involved.
A few emails.
Jesus.
But I am very familiar with this. I need to write 4 hours today, or I'm going to work for 6 hours, and trying to sort of, when you have all this time, it feels so precious because you're this is my chance to get everything done. I've taken writer's retreats, and by the end, I get to be a little bit all work and no play makes Mandy a dull girl. I start talking to myself and I'm like, can I come home early? I don't think a whole lot of time is that great, but I have, I don't know if you guys have talked about this, but my friend Don Roos is an amazing screenwriter, and he has the 1 hour egg timer approach to writing, which is you only ever plan to work or write 1 hour. You set a timer. You don't look at your phone. You don't do any errands. You don't take a break to take a walk. It's 1 hour and you sit down to do it. And you can even, by the way, if you don't want to work on your project, you even give yourself the luxury of a little pad for journaling. If you want to be I'm so mad at Pauline for not refreshing the coffee or whatever.
Ugh,
you can
Pauline.
write, you can journal. Pauline's such
Pauline.
Anyway. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's not, I'm sorry that she who shall not be named.
She's already taken too much residence.
Yeah. She's renting real estate in my mind, that Pauline. Anyway, but you journal and then you write. And so what it does is you might get hooked and find something that you just quite can't let go. And then you have the luxury of, if it turns out to be 2 hours, great, or 3, great. But you only ever have to do 1. And there's something about that makes it you can actually get a lot done in an hour, a focused hour, as opposed to having 8 hours of I swore I'd get 5 pages done, So that's, I think that makes space for lighthearted creativity and a real focused opening up to all right, let's get something. Let's get something, and no judgment about what that is. And I think that actually sets you up to use however much time you have in the best way.
Yeah, I agree with all of that. I also think that our brains love patterns. They love to have a set of things. So having that hour thing is great because you can be in an hour, then I can do the rest of the dishes. Then I can do the rest of it. But I have this hour. But I also think that if you have the time that you can plan your day, that it's better to pick a time, and that is the time that you are creative. So essentially, get all whatever responsibility stuff you need out of the way, and then at 1 o'clock, that is the time that you are creative, and then you basically set that time to do it, because then every time that your brain will go, oh, it's 1 o'clock, and it'll start kicking over and going, all right, now we're going to do this, as opposed to just at random times just being okay, I know everything's on fire, but where did she put that enchanted dagger? Then suddenly having to drop back into the story when everything else is going on. If you have that luxury of that, you can actually structure your day, do it, because your brain will learn to be creative in the time that you have given it. And if you happen to go long, great. And if not, then you can move on and do other things and then circle back around. The other option is if it works, but that's worked for me. When I've had that kind of time, I ended up after like 2 days of like, I could do whatever I want. I was like, oh God, I can do whatever I want. So I needed that, like, to put that thing in. The other option is if you have something that's burning in you, write it as fast as you can. Get the first draft down as fast as you can. Like, structure your thing to just like write. Eat some food. Write. Like, I mean, and then get a crappy first draft done, and then you can be luxurious in your editing. So you kind of have to go by whatever, but structure somehow, whatever works for you.
All of that is it just rings true to me that both of you have said that this whole idea of my brain works best when it's responding to something. Right? Even something that I've created. And I'm often surprised at how quickly I can go from I'm writing something to who wrote this? Like, it just doesn't even feel like me 36 hours later. And so it's easier for me to respond to something I've done later. I actually wrote, as Mandy was talking, I could do anything somehow becomes, I can't do anything. Like that sort of pressure plus freedom equals paralysis equation is exactly, I feel like, what you were getting to. And I really struggle with that. Time without structure is a void. And I feel like we have to build the muscle of creative constraint in order to actually squeeze the good stuff out. I do not work well with retreats, writers' weekends. It's too much time in a day to actually do it, unless I'm with someone else. Like if I have someone with me to bounce, like to workshop, if we're doing something collaborative, then I can do it. Then those weekends are great. But man, just me alone and myself, good Lord, do I relate to the talking to myself comment. God.
I've never had a chance to do that. I never had the opportunity to do a writer's retreat or go away.
Oh, it's good stuff.
For an extended
time.
Well,
see, that's what we need to do. All right, it's on the list. This goes back to stuff we've talked about before. Like the way I talk to myself when I talk to myself, I would never talk to anybody else that way. And it's at its worst when it's a creative project, because I can get myself feeling hopeless and just really digging in. Some of my best, most vicious material comes directly from my voice pointed at me.
I just watched a video on this. The guy and I'll see if I can find it to put it in the show notes. He talked about the resistance. Like, that's how he thinks of it. Like, he thinks like basically there's the person in his head that basically is like, you're not good enough, you're not right, you can't do that. And basically the best way he deals with it is basically to name it, find it, see it, and then and personify it. So for him, it's a sock puppet. So he's like, I see that, and I'm like, oh, I see what you're doing. Like, you're not going to get me that. So whatever it is, as opposed to this is how life is. This is what my brain is doing. It's like, no, there actually is just one voice that's very loud. And if you give it a name, then you can call by its name and tell it to stop talking to you.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. I had a really, you mentioned it before, Pete, about like after you move, like, how do you keep creative momentum? Right. And the fact is, I didn't I went through a phase of really bad writer's block, and it was because of the things you're talking about. Like, just the voices in my head were nasty and personal and taking away all of my joy in writing and why I was writing. And it was just like, and I had to write those things, actually had to give them center stage for a while and let them get really loud and write them down and be like, all right, here, this is what's showing up. And I just wrote it as much as it wanted me to write it every day, all day if it wanted, and then finally at some point it was a little bit like, so are we having fun?
Yeah. Right.
You got your shot.
We're exhausted now.
How are we doing? Like, is this getting us closer to the thing that we want? Like, what do we have any closer to knowing what we want from all this? And it kind of giving it like sort of taking the air out of it, giving it its center stage, and then it crap the bed for a bed. It's like, you're not doing so great. This isn't so great. Yeah. Then it made room for, it kind of was willing to sort of stand down and then make room for the other stuff. It's like, it's actually more fun to think about what your next movie is than it is to just be crappy to yourself all day.
Yeah. So a couple of emerging themes I'm seeing are, for one, learn how to talk to yourself. For another, imposing if life isn't handing you some limitations, create a framework of your own limitations, which actually goes into kind of what I was going to talk about. In that the way this question hit me is that it's like they're paralyzed by choice. Like too many choices and endless options. That's why people, scroll Netflix infinitely and then just watch The Office for the 500th time. And most, as we see the evidence here, most creative professionals will tell you a certain amount of limitations are actually good for creativity. And so in this situation where at least life and the schedule aren't limiting you, you've got to create your own framework. So if this was my situation, first I would gather up all my creative options, like the different things I could work on. I'd give myself a set time limit to decide one or two to actively work on, and I would stick to that time limit. When that time limit is over, I must have chosen like an A and a B project. The others go in a drawer for later. And then I would make some manner of schedule for how to work on what I've chosen. So if I don't need a day job right now, then I could treat this in a sense sort of like a day job. Not that I'm going to schedule 8 to 5 40-hour week schedule to regiment all the time, but I am still going to create a framework as if this is work that I like, real serious work that I am approaching. In the absence of internal structure, I think internal structure is going to help you stay productive without kind of falling to those things of like, oh, I don't know what to do. There's too much to do and all that. So imposing a little bit of order onto chaos, I think would be helpful here.
I think that's really good because let's just saying the quiet part out loud. Our brains are amazing and also very stupid. And they will treat made up deadlines and constraints with the same actual urgency as real deadlines if you commit to it. So one trick, I have a friend who does this to me. I've never done it to them, but they will call me and say, I have to finish this project. He's a coder. He works in database. He says, I've been really dragging my feet on this ridiculous project. I have an hour and a half to do it. I need to finish it in an hour and a half, or I'm sending you a Starbucks gift card. I have no part in it, but he needs a penalty if something doesn't work out. And I low-key love this idea. Like, it's not shaming at all. It's just like, here's a deadline, and if I don't miss it, somebody else gets a little bit of joy. I like it.
So did you keep calling him while he was trying to work so he'd go over the 90-minute deadline? You give yourself some free coffee?
Are you done? Did you finish?
Hey, what's up, buddy?
How's it going now? Just text. And I found this great gift. Here's a YouTube video.
What's going on? Let me think. Why did I call you?
Yeah. Here's an hour-long video of a guy in Ecuador building a log cabin underground from scratch. Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. Cool. Well, great response.
I might have to buy some stock in Starbucks. That sounds like a good idea.
That's a pretty good idea.
Well, I feel like that was a good window into like how different people kind of manage the head game of productivity. So thanks a lot for that, guys. We're going to move on to our second sponsor now.
Hey there, cats and kittens. It's me, Nancy Drew, teen detective. I've been cracking cases since the 1930s, but now it's time for my biggest one yet. And that's where you come in. I've just joined the public domain, which means I'm ready for your stories. Will I be punching Dracula right in the kisser? Or unmasking a pirate cult with Popeye? Maybe I'll be matching wits with Sam Spade and Miss Marple, who also joined the public domain. Whatever you decide, please no horror movies. It's so overdone. What do you say, champ? Ready to help me bust some baddies? I'll be waiting.
I've got it. Yeah. Nancy Drew versus Steamboat Willie.
Yes, you can do it. Because as we're recording this, it's January, which means it's public domain time. A bunch of new stuff has now hit the public domain. And so you are, as like Steamboat Willie, you are free and clear to use Nancy Drew in any way you want to do. Miss Marple, Sam Spade, and a bunch of other amazing things, including songs and paintings and all sorts of things. So the public domain is one of the best things we have out there. It was crippled for a long time, but now it's finally back up and running again. And can't wait to see what people do with all of these amazing things that aren't horror movies, because come on, we can
I
do
was
better
already outlining Nancy Drew, Blood and Honey. But you put the kibosh on that. The kibosh.
Nancy Dracula? No.
It can work. It can work.
All righty. So for our next couple segments, we're going to hand it over to Kyle. Kyle, take it away.
So we're going to be discussing the opposite of what we were just talking about, which is what do you do when you have too much time? This is what you do when you have no time at all. So the other thing I got to do, and as we record this happened less than 5 days ago, so this is very fresh, is I was asked to be a part of Phoenix Theater's 24-hour theater project. So at 7 p.m., I was given a location and a line of dialogue and met my actors and directors, and I had until 7 a.m. to turn in a 15-page script, which would be performed at 7 p.m. that Saturday. So they would be seeing at 7 a.m. At 7 p.m., it goes up for its opening night and final night. Opens and closes at the same time. So I thought we could make this into a little bit of a game. I am going to tell you what I was given, and I'm going to go around the room, and you're going to give me what your elevator pitch would be. Like, what's the first thing that gets you? What would you do if you had to do this? That you have to write this. You have 3 actors. You have 15 minutes. What do you do with that time? So I'm going to go to Mandy first because she is the trained improver of us. Giving the boys
yes, and
more of it. Yeah, exactly. Giving more of a time to put something together. Okay, so the prompt I was given was, it's set in a veterinarian's office.
Mm-hmm.
And the first line of dialogue is, do you want the honest version or one that will let you sleep tonight?
Oh my God.
I was given 3 actors, 2 men, 1 woman. And that was it. They're just like, go.
Can you say the line again?
The line is, do you want the honest version or the one that will let you sleep tonight?
Okay.
So give me, I want basically your elevator pitch. You can make it just like even a log line if you want to. And I would like a title.
Oh, a title.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I can tell you.
You can end that. You can end it with the title if you want to give you brain.
And I can just give you first worst idea, right? Like
yes, please.
Like this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
And the things you don't have time with these things. You don't have time to think. You have to just every minute you spend thinking is a minute you're not writing, which means
I did
that
one
you're
of these
up that
recently.
much later.
Yeah, I did something like this recently, and it was like, it was really weird to be like, I came up with 3 okay ideas, but I had to pick the least bad one and just go with it.
Yeah.
So can you give me the line of dialogue again?
Sure. Do you want the honest version or the one that will let you sleep tonight?
Okay. So, a couple standing in a veterinarian office holding a baby, looking hopefully at a receptionist who looks tired. And the receptionist says, do you want the honest truth or the one that will let you sleep tonight? And the premise of it is, the woman has been telling her husband all along that their baby is a puppy. And he's finding out it's a real human baby. And he's brought them to a veterinarian office to prove that this baby is actually a puppy. And the wife is about to get found out why she told her husband that it was a puppy, because she knew he wasn't ready for kids. That's my pitch.
And the title is?
Oh, baby. No.
I'll say I'll let you do yours. And I have an idea.
Oh, great. I'm open to collaboration because my first idea was baby wants a bone. And that's
say when we've done a collaborative, you excel at titles. So I was like, my first was, how much is that doggy in the window?
Okay. Oh, yeah. Is our baby no? Yeah, I don't know. Our baby's
baby,
a
the dog.
Yeah,
All right. Our baby the dog.
I don't know. I'll think about it. Like something about My Little Lassie, maybe. This is fun. I like brainstorming titles.
My Little Lassie.
Our Little Lassie. Something about gives you pause.
Gives you pause. I like that too.
Pause. Plays on words.
All bark, no bite.
Tag. Fetch. Oh, fetch. A fetching girl.
Mandy, stop trying to make that happen.
Okay,
the logo is a collar on a baby with a tag, with a dog tag. That's horrible.
Well, Pete said
her name's
Rowena
or something.
What have you got?
Me?
What's yours? Yeah, you, Pete.
Okay. you gave me too much time to think by making Mandy go first. And so instead, of
Ryan's
course.
got the 1,000-yard stare, so I know he's already working.
Yeah,
I'm
he's
done.
already written.
I'm ready.
It.
Yeah,
he's got 4,500 words. I think that we're going to have a couple of thieves breaking into the veterinarian's office, thinking they can get quick score, some cash from the register, maybe, or I don't know, ketamine. Do you get ketamine in a veterinarian's clinic? I should probably ketamine.
I sure hope so.
And instead, they meet our third character, who we'll call her Deb. Deb's my mom's name, so maybe it's my mom, who has worked the night shift at this emergency vet clinic. They broke into a place that's actually open 24 hours a day, so they're very stupid. It's kind of a comedy of errors. She is 60-something, has seen it all, has like no capacity for anxiety and or panic. And she says, she starts with, "Do you want the honest version of the one that will let you sleep at night?" And that's a way to start with the comedy of errors part. It starts in silence and you see them like breaking in, and then you get a light that turns on and it's Deb. And she's actually panic-free and telling them that they're going to get nothing.
Okay.
That's it. And it's, what is it called?
What's it called? What's that title?
Deb works the night shift.
Okay. Hey, I like that. I
don't know. Ketamine caper. I don't know. But I think I'll go for Deb works the night shift. Just, who knows what this play is about? Wait till they see it's veterinarian stuff.
All right. Acclaimed author Ryan Dalton.
Okay, so the line, "Do you want the honest version or the one that will let you sleep at night?" comes because the vet looks at this cute little adopted rescue kitten and sees that its internal organs are not at all what they're supposed to be. The log line being, a new couple adopts a rescue kitten that turns out to be an alien. The alien is pursued, and there are questions as to whether or not the escaped alien kitten is the innocent party being hunted by evil or the evil being hunted by the hero. And I would call it whiskers and waveforms.
Whiskers and waveforms. The complete nut, Ryan Dalton. We got the whole story.
I have a question. I'm a dog person, but aren't all cats aliens?
Hey.
I don't. Isn't that like? Just
that would be a great line to put in the show. Actually, like, aren't all kittens aliens? And they're like, you must be a dog person.
I want to make sure it's like a Men in Black alien too. So like the cat opens up and there's another alien inside.
Oh, okay.
That maybe it's a dog. And then that opens up and it's a third alien. It's a nesting doll of aliens.
Okay. It's just animals all the way down.
It's animals all the way down.
And then last on the inside is just a broom.
Yeah.
Right.
I love that.
So
that was fun.
I say thank you for doing that. So what I decided to come up with was two guys are working at the veterinary clinic, and what you find out is it got loose. So one of the guys has essentially been doing some kind of weird experiment thing, and now it's loose inside the vet, and they need to get it. It can't get out, but it can get onto them because it is a thing that can take over a person. And I had it as a patch of it looks like a patch of bad skin, so they call it rash, but it basically can move onto a person and take over them. And of course, this is when their new boss decides to show up, and they have to sort of keep this from her and doing this. And then so as I'm doing like the X-Files version, then things got weird because it turns out that Rash has a penchant for bad television. So when he takes someone over, they start acting like a really stereotypical character from various shows. Not anyone in particular, just like an archetype. And so the first time it happens, it's like a 50s dad. Like, well, son, your mother and I are worried about you. And everybody's going, what is going on? And then you find out that, oh yeah, I used to put Rash on different animals, and we used to watch bad shows together. It loves the trashiest television shows. So then it goes into 80s lawyer, and then when you get to the last beat of it, it's like our hero, even though he's not that heroic, it turns into a full-on telenovela. And so he like rips his shirt open. He's like, "Why would you come back here?" And like until that hit, I was like, "This is gonna be the moment. This is either gonna succeed or fail right now." And he did that, and the audience just went like, it was
nice.
okay. So yeah, they were.
Awesome.
And then by the time you get to the end, then Rash is jumping from person to person, playing both sides of the scenes and stuff
Oh
too.
my
Nice.
God.
That's great.
And they absolutely went for it. They actually played it full on to the max. They weren't trying to like be subtle or anything. They went big, and yeah, I ended up being like the last one of the night, the fourth one. It was
Awesome.
It was fantastic. So it was like I would throw it through my head of like, what are the ones everyone would expect to do, like what are the things, which none of the ones I thought of were the ones you guys came up with, which I thought shows where we're at. And then I finally got this one. I'm like, well, no one would be expecting this because I can't believe I'm about to sit down and do this. And then so for the next like 3 hours, came up with this thing. And then
that's the great thing about those kind of short form projects is you can just go wild.
Yeah.
Because who cares? Let's just have fun.
Right.
Yeah.
Because there's like zero stakes. Like people know coming in, they're not expecting it to be. They're like the ink is still wet. Like
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
But I cheated because I actually told Patrick that our daughters are dogs. So now I feel bad.
The story's
I'll come
out
up with
there.
something creative.
you gotta write
next
what you know.
time. Yeah, write what you know. Yeah. That's really fun.
So yeah, it was really fun. So thank you all for playing along. It was
Yeah.
great. If you ever get a chance to do anything like that, for people out there, I highly recommend you because, like you said, the time constraint, like when you only have that amount of time, like it really focuses your brain where it's just like you can't think about anything else. You just have to like get it down, get it done, get it out.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, thanks for bringing that. That was super fun. Well, that brings episode 1 of season 2 of Crafting Chaos to a close. Thank you, everybody, for your thoughts and being super cool. Pete, you look
Thank
like
you
you have
for your
something
able
to say.
hostage, Ryan.
Oh,
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I did my best.
And welcome,
Now-
Mandy.
Now I'm using my smoky voice that I use.
Definitely.
We're so happy to have you along
Yes,
with
welcome,
us.
Mandy.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here. I love the conversation.
And we will see all of you in 2 weeks. Come on back.
Go eat weird art.
Crafting Chaos is part of a complete breakfast. Consult a physician if you experience Crafting Chaos for more than 4 hours. Injured on the job, you may be entitled to Crafting Chaos. Crafting Chaos is recorded in front of a live, mostly unwilling studio audience. Any similarity between Crafting Chaos hosts and actual people is purely coincidental. Do not consume Crafting Chaos if you are pregnant or think you may become pregnant. Do not taunt Crafting Chaos.